Oh man, these aren't. Fuck. Maybe I should change it up a bit. What's that I'm hearing?
There's something we need to discuss, little one.
You should have gone for the head.
It's not working, bro.
The hardest choices require the strongest wills.
You're right, Thanos. Let's do this.
I know what it's like to lose. Feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail, nonetheless.
You know what, bro? This isn't working. I think it's time for you to go.
I'm the only one.
Don't make me bring Ant-Man. Don't make me shove him up your... Holy shit. This isn't my house. I don't know where I am. You could say I'm far from home. Did you get it? Like the title of the film we're talking about. Wait, don't go. Overall, I enjoyed Far From Home. Jokes were on point, Mysterio was pretty good, the illusion scene with him was, dare I say, Kino. Tom Holland is always great, but the heart of the matter is the relationship between Peter and MJ. Get it? Heart. Cause they in love. Wait, don't go. Let's talk about their relationship. Specifically,
if you haven't got problems, I feel bad.
At the start of the movie, Peter just flat out states that he likes MJ and he has a plan to tell her how he feels.
I think MJ really likes me.
I got a question.
What just happened?
If you feel that the relationship between Peter and MJ is so sudden, you should hold on to that gut instinct. Because
You're goddamn right.
they barely set this up in Homecoming. Did they set it up in Homecoming or not?
Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, they didn't set it up. At most, we get the setup that it's MJ who could have the hots for Parker.
What would Captain America do?
Why are you here? You don't even have detention.
Oh, I know, I just like...
Peter Parker. They weren't even that particularly friendly to each other during that movie.
Probably stop staring before he gets creepy though.
Too late. You guys are losers.
If I didn't know any better, I think Peter Parker was kinda weirded out by her in that movie. So where is this all coming from? When did Peter get the MJ tingle? The whole romancing thing is skipped. Excuse me. Show us the part of the movie where the protagonist actually develops feelings for the love interest. Wouldn't it have been better for your movie if you showed us how the main character fell in love with the love interest? Instead of just telling the audience what happened. Oh, by the way, guys, whatever happened, it was not in this film. Trust me, I'm gonna tell you by exposition. I shit you not. It's just like early in the movie, Peter buys MJ a Black Dahlia necklace. And MJ likes the Black Dahlia necklace because of the Black Dahlia murders. And we know that MJ likes the Black Dahlia murders because Peter Parker said so. Which is a good way to use the medium.
You are in my very soul, tormenting me.
Show that! It's a film, goddammit! The movie tricked me, because the first time I watched it, I was really entertained. When I rewatched it again, I noticed it. I've been bamboozled.
It's a trick. A shadow on the wall.
How did you get behind? Ideally, the second movie is about how they fall in love, or at least how Parker grows to like MJ. And the payoff is not in the second movie, it's in the third one. But this movie just skips that step. An integral part of Spider-Man 1 and 2 was the relationship between Parker and Mary Jane. We literally get that a few minutes into the movie. Aside from the Green Goblin plot, the bigger part of the story was also about how MJ fell in love with Spider-Man / Peter Parker. Upon rewatching it, I never realized also that Green Goblin was stabbed in the balls.
Oh.
I thought it was in his midsection. Jesus Christ. Anyway, the whole of Spider-Man 1 has MJ realizing, oh, I kinda love this dork, but the dork says, no, my secret identity. And they don't get together. And in Spider-Man 2, it's, your secret identity can suck it. I want to be with you. And Spider-Man 3 does not exist. The Amazing Spider-Man also did the developing romance too. Did they do it?
Does whatever a spider.
Yeah, they set it up too.
Or we could do something else, or we could, if you don't, I mean, like, we could...
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, either one.
Really?
Sure.
My theory is that the writers and directors are kinda lazy. What the fuck is Stan Lee doing here?
Don't make me come down there, you punk!
They're banking on the fact that the audience knows that MJ and Peter are going to be a thing anyway. Because Spider-Man is such a pop culture icon, every normie knows that Spider-Man and MJ are gonna get together, so why bother develop that shit? Let me show you the film's problem by analogy. Let's say it's the story of Night Monkey. Night Monkey's name is Pedro Paterno. And Pedro has a side character that's kinda annoying, but is kinda crushing on him. And they barely talk to each other for this movie, for the first movie in the Night Monkey franchise. And then in the second film, in the sequel, Pedro already wants to declare his undying love for marijuana. The fuck? You see the problem now, right? Take away all that pop culture shit. Take away all the history of the past movies in the Spider-Man mythos. And the laziness is laid bare. So at some points, I find the romance aspect to be unbelievable, and it takes me out of the movie. These guys have barely interacted with each other for Homecoming. How barely are we talking about here, Weekend? Glad you asked that. 2 minutes and 50 seconds of screen time. Jesus Christ, really? And for all that time she's on screen, okay, 90% of the time, 80% of the time, she was acting like such a bitch.
You guys are losers.
Can't believe you guys are at this lame party.
You're here too.
Am I? Excuse me, can we go already? Because I was hoping to get in some light protesting from one of the embassies before dinner.
Oh, definitely. That's the love of my life. Oh, but that's how teenagers react, Weekend. Yeah, I don't know about teenagers and shit, but any person who acts like a cunt to me, why bother talk to that person?
Don't start nothing. Won't be nothing.
Because as it stands, honestly, I don't see Parker falling in love with MJ from the events of Homecoming. See, this would have been the perfect time to open up the layers that MJ would have had. But they don't show that shit. They just tell us about it. Oh yeah, MJ does say that she tells the truth because she's awkward. Thanks for showing my point. Thanks for showing me that you're expositing the best romance on screen. By best, I mean the most non-believable. Get this shit out of here. That's not the only thing that the movie is lazy about.
Got 99 problems and a bitch ain't.
The movie is almost a retread of Homecoming. As Mike Stoklasa says, same but different. So I'm gonna give it an arbitrary rating of 80% lazy. I am going to stress it here now before people put words in my mouth. The writing is lazy, but the craftsmanship, the acting that went into producing this movie wasn't. Far from it. When you pull the writing thread, you realize how a retread this movie was. I noticed it with Mysterio and his gaggle of cronies. Oh, there are a bunch of bandits who have a grievance with Tony Stark. Wait a minute, I heard that one before.
If you have a grievance, you may take it up with my superiors.
Your superiors? Who the hell are they?
The joint venture between Stark Industries and the federal government, the Department of Damage Control, will oversee the collection and storage of alien and other...
But the similarities don't stop there. Homecoming starts with a short film about Peter's experience of Civil War from his perspective. Far Home, because Far From Home is too long to pronounce, Far Home also starts with a short film, but this time it's a tribute video to the ones who died during Infinity War and Endgame, which is a bit tongue-in-cheek. It had Comic Sans as fun. That's funny. I liked it. Happy was a part of Peter's supporting cast. Now, Peter has Happy and Nick Fury and Maria Hill, who are actually Skrulls, but hey, the idea still is... In Homecoming, there's a school trip to Washington because of a decathlon. In Far From Home, we also got a school trip, but in Europe.
It broke new ground!
In Homecoming, Peter also had a mentor in Tony Stark. And in Far From Home, with Beck, sort of a mentor, because he's really a dick. Villain finds out Spider-Man's secret identity and have a grudging respect for the boy. Peter discovers a piece of technology that unravels the villain's schemes, which is similar to how MJ conveniently picks up a piece of technology that unravels Mysterio's schemes. How about that shit? Mysterio and Vulture also have some tech guys, which is a funny coincidence to me. Coincidence. At the end of the film, Peter also has to suit up with the suit of his own creation to fight the bad guy, mano a mano. There's also a fucking phone call near the climax, where some guy's trying to warn the other guy of a threat, but he doesn't care or doesn't get it. Somebody also says fuck at the end. What the f? But they cut the fuck. Because we can't have that shit in our family-friendly Disney product with our family-friendly Disney characters. A representative from the Walt Disney Company's permissions department wrote, "We extend our sincere condolences. If you played a small part in Ollie's happiness, we are honored. We have striven to preserve the same innocence and magic around our characters that brought Ollie such joy."
Spins a wave any size, catches these.
Don't get it twisted. The movie was entertaining despite itself. I liked it so much I watched it the second time, and that's when I noticed the problems. So if you watch this once, I don't think you'll see the problems until I pointed it out to you. It was lazily written, but it was carried by the strengths of its lead actor, the villain, and some of the side characters. I'm sure I missed some comparisons and other issues with the movie, so feel free to leave them on the comments below.
99 problems and a bitch ain't one.
At this point, I would like to say that this is the start of something bad. I think Marvel is resting on its laurels. Think about it from their perspective. They got a shittily written, badly acted movie with a charisma void lead that somehow made $1 billion. They got an acceptable ending to a long arc that makes loads of money. At this point, they're on top of the world, but a day will come when a combination of lazy writing and bad casting will give us MCU's first legitimate box office bomb. Honestly, I can't wait. We here at Weekend Warrior love a good dumpster fire. DC has its share of badly received movies that didn't do well in the box office. Maybe it's Marvel's turn.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a dislike. If you particularly like this type of content, consider subscribing. If you really want to show your support, consider contributing to the Weekend War Chest via Patreon. Like these wonderful patrons: Hjorter S. Hjorterson, Daniil Dmitriev, Nerzul I, Tad586, Chet McMasterson, Peter B, Rhea Rules, Sexualizing the Holocaust, and John Lemley, as well as these other wonderful warriors.